Hello. I don't know who's here and who's not here. Hmm. Hi, Tia. How's your 30 and 30 going? Hello, 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 hello. It's freezing in this house. I need to turn the air down. It's too cold for that. It's now the weather has dropped. Hi, Liv. Oh, I haven't done sprints on my channel. I was about to say I haven't been live. That's not true. That's not true. I have not done sprints in a very long. I haven't done public sprints in a very, very long time. How's everyone doing for 30 and 30? Like, how are we feeling about it so far? I don't know where my count is. What is today? Today is September 12th. So I know some people have read a lot. Like a lot. But remember, this is all about setting yourself at. I read your manga for the day. Hey, Jess. I know some people have read a lot, but also this is about setting your own pace and doing what is comfortable for you and your life. And it is just to get you reading some manga. And I'm pulling up let's see where I'm at. I'm a little behind where I want to be personally, which is why I decided to do sprints tonight, because I was like, I need some motivation. Who sings that song? Is that Kelly Rowland's song? It's gotta be Kelly Rowland. Yes. I haven't heard that song in such a long time. I'm not gonna even do that because I can't sing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I'm at 16 too, Hannah. We're on Attack on Titan. Oh, the last video is be reading 2 a day. 24, that's where I need to be. I need to be at 24 because I'm trying to do 2 a day. So I am, y'all, was 24 minus 16, 8, right? It's 8, right? Because my brain is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Yes, 8. Live. Which mean you haven't started? I have this daily moisturizer that has SPF in it, right? And I always forget, like, not to rub it in my eyes. And so my eyes always end up like burning, like on fire. Read 5 volumes, took a long break, 1 free food. That's fine, y'all. Live, if you haven't started, that's fine. I need you to get 1 volume in though, babes. Just 1. You don't even got to do the whole bunch that you checked out. Just get in 1 volume for me. 5 volumes is great. Have y'all found any, for those of you who have like certain things that you're attempting to read, like have you found anything that's been super great, or has there been anything that's been like disappointing? I think for me, my hits so far have been Apothecary Diaries, hands down. Like Apothecary Diaries has been so good. Um, and what was not good? What did I Oh, this week has been the week of not great things. This week has been, I think last week I read some bangers, and then this week has been the week of like, what have I read? Um I read the first volume of My Dress Up Darling, and that series is just not for me. I know why people like it, but I couldn't. It was too cringe for me. So I couldn't do it, unfortunately. I also read Let's Eat Together. Love the food element, but was not blown away by like the storyline itself. I don't know, like the recipes and the food were good, but it was just boring. I think those were the two misses for me this week. Catching up with you, and I need to start that series. I have volume 1 on my shelf, and I haven't read it yet. Hey, Jennifer. Wait, hold on. This is what I'm talking about. I have not. Oh, hi.
I'm so sorry. I
Fell asleep.
I laid down and I was out. I woke up and I was like, no. So apologies.
Everyone is giving their updates for 30 and 30.
Oh,
Let me start with
nice.
Atelier.
I haven't
Just
read
read
that.
one.
I need to read that.
I haven't read it either.
Oh, Ashley, did you get my voice note?
I did get your voice note. I still think I'm going to read it anyway.
Okay, that's fine. I just wanted you to know because I don't think a lot of people know that. And when I read Paradise Kiss first, and then I was like, the characters started appearing, and I was like, why do these characters care? Like, why do they care so much? They're making it such a big deal. These characters are here. And then when I went back and read Neighborhood Story,
Story.
I was like, oh, that's why. Okay. So.
Not you in the chat.
Hi, Robin.
So you could be in the chat, but you can't answer nobody. That's cute. Currently reading Orb on the Mountains of the Earth. Grab more attention. Got you. Firefly Wedding is good, but I just don't know who I would recommend that to. It's kind of like you either like it or you're not, because he's so toxic.
Let's see.
But I am caught up to volume 3 of Firefly Wedding. So I caught it early enough that I could stay on track. That's never how that goes for me.
No, for it's really rare that I'm on track with a manga. I think the only one I stayed on track with was Demon Slayer. And I think that's because I went, and I know I acknowledge not everybody could do this, and it was at the time where I worked at Barnes and Noble, so I could, but I bought the box set, so that helped me a lot. Especially because normally I don't do box sets, but because it was literally the whole entire series, so I allowed myself to do it.
I haven't read Demon Slayer, nor have I watched Demon Slayer.
I think you would like it. Actually.
That's what I keep hearing, but I feel like I own the first 2 volumes of Demon Slayer too. I'm pretty sure I do. It's Dark Moment. It is dark. Yeah, it is.
I typically you like fantasy manga, right? Do you? I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Have I read a lot of I mean,
you were
Delicious in Dungeness Fantasy, and I love that down. Kaiju number 8. Yeah, I mean, I do. Yeah.
okay. And you were there when we were talking about Death Note and Robin, right? Were you there?
No.
so
But
many.
I've read part of Death Note.
Because Robin was talking about how she read Death Note too. So, okay, I think you would like it. I think because it's short. It's not it's like a series, but it's done. But also, there's besides the fantasy, there's like a humanity story underneath it all. And I think you would like that part.
We started watching. We were doing Sailor Moon before,
Yeah, I kept
and then
forgetting
we
to do it.
started. You never joined.
I was like, it's Thursday, and then I'd be like, dang, I missed it.
We started watching. We started watching Attack on Titan.
I need to watch that. I stopped at episode 6 because I was like, this got very intense, and I got very anxious.
That's where we watched episodes 5 and 6 last night.
Yeah, I
And I
was
was
like,
like, oh
honestly, I was like, how did the
man.
series not end here? I was
And
like,
then
there's
like
more.
it's wild because I've read part of the manga, right? And so everything that we watched last night, I knew, but I was telling someone at work today too. She's like a huge fan of Attack on Titan. And I was like, it's so different, like seeing the animation. Even like knowing what I do know about Attack on Titan, watching the anime is a completely different experience because seeing that stuff like
Yeah,
actually happen. I
it's
mean, there
weird.
was one specific scene, and I was just like, I remember the panel, but then actually watching it in motion, I was like, oh my gosh, it's
Yeah.
depressing.
That's how I felt about like when I read Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
When I watched the anime, I was like, seeing this live hits different.
It does. It hits, yeah, it does. It hits
A little bit
different.
more emotional than I planned to be. When I was reading. So I get
I,
that, I
I,
watched episode 6 and I was like, this is a lot.
yeah, it was when we finished last night because it was me and Hannah,
Mhm.
and it was like, I don't know, just the way it just ended.
And escalated. I was like,
Yeah, no, and it was just weird because it's like like you can it's like eerie because you know that it's going to get messy and it's going to
mhm,
get intense, but then when you get in that moment, you're like,
how are you gonna get out of this situation, buddy?
it's like we're not going to.
My friends sometimes be like, did you watch after episode 6 yet? And I'm like, no.
No.
I'm
And
scared.
I'm glad we do it on a weekly basis because it gives my brain some time to like reset before we
Yeah,
dive into the next few episodes. But I also have been like flying through Apothecary Diaries.
I love that shit.
It's so good. I mean, I'm reading the manga too, but the anime is so so good. I'm trying to be so careful because when I did 30 and 30 in April, I was finishing up Your Lion in April.
I wanna watch that too. I've heard it's that
No,
long.
Alana.
No?
I mean, watch it. But when I tell you, I couldn't even finish the anime because I read the manga and the manga had me like nose dripping, snot,
Oh my god, I hate
bawling,
when that happens.
hiccuping, and I said, "Oh, I'm not gonna make it through the anime. Like, there's no way." Because what I did is whatever piece they were playing together, like he was playing on the piano, she's playing the violin, I would listen to it as I was reading the manga. And when you get to is it volume 10? And like just when I tell you I fell apart. I was like, you know what? Never will I willingly allow myself to be traumatized like that again. It's so good. But even I was like, oh, this is one that I would love to collect.
Mhm.
When I was in the first part of the series. And then I got to the end and I said, I won't even buy this because I don't think that I will ever reread that series ever again. I
Listen,
just can't see myself doing it.
I was so excited for the Fruits Basket reboot because I've watched the original, I've read all of
Yeah.
the manga. I still haven't finished it because I know there are certain scenes at the end that I'm gonna sob like a baby at. Or like technically me and Crunchyroll, we're still beefing because they took one of my favorite animes off.
Yeah.
They made it into like a physical book. At one point, it's Aaron the Beast Tamer. Basically, that's like the title they
Mhm.
give it, but it's Aaron. And it's about this little girl, and she's living her life through this um the in this kingdom where they raise lizards, and then her mom's a lizard tamer, and then it's honestly kind of a slice of life because it follows her, but it's also fantasy and like uh politically, like there's some political issues as
Yeah.
well. She gets stuck between two kingdoms, just by happenstance.
Mhm.
That had me sobbing from start to finish, and so I was mad when they took it off because I would rewatch it, and I would cry every time.
I think there are some I don't know, there's some things like, um, A Silent Voice is another one that I'm just nervous.
That one I have not picked up because I've heard how much it wrecks people, and I don't know
Yeah.
if I'm ready.
I've read volume 1 and volume 2, I feel like multiple times because I just can't. I was like that with Your Lie in April too, like, because I had heard how tragic it was, and I think at the point that I read it in April of this year, I probably had read volume 1 by, like, 3 times
Yeah.
at that point, and I was like, "You're gonna do it. In April, you're gonna finish Your Lie in April," and now I'm just like, "Girl." I
Dang.
know you were trying to have a poetic moment, but that was not the
It's
time.
like, maybe I pushed too hard.
No, and see, now what Hannah's saying too, that, like, A Silent Voice is one that I can't revisit. Now, like, I got the whole box set, y'all, like,
Yeah, there are some that, like, you're like, "Damn, I really can't revisit that," or
oh,
it's gonna take a lot for
dang. Hey, Ray. Hello. Alright, y'all, what are you gonna be reading? We're gonna do, I think what I'll do is 2 one-hour sprints. I think that's what I have in my soul for today. So what are you gonna be reading? I know, Alana, you're not technically doing 30 and 30, so what do you plan on reading?
I finished Phantasma,
Mhm.
so I'm actually trying to decide what I'm gonna read next because all my other books I have the audiobooks for, thank God. No, for real, the reason why it took me this long to read Phantasma is, and it's not because I wasn't enjoying it, it's just because, like, like, the audiobooks are so helpful for me right now because life is so crazy. So the fact that
Because
I
life.
is insane. Um, but I have the books for Lady of Darkness, The Raven Scholar, or Direbound. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to do because they're both.
I'm gonna buddy read Raven Scholar with somebody next month.
I've heard how like good people think it is, but it sounds really interesting, which is why I got the audio. But I think I might do. No, I'm gonna give A Lady of Darkness a try because that's technically officially my TBR. Let's see how I feel.
Okay. Let's see what we have. Okay. Hannah
Oh,
said Yona. I really need to read Yona.
I do too. I watched the anime up to a certain point. I
Did
think
you
when they,
like it?
I like the anime when they, because I love when they do like a little fantasy anime and she collects
Mm.
people. Makes me kind of happy. I was like, oh, found family, okay. Um, so I think I watched until they collected the last guy. I got distracted.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love it.
They are. Reading sprints do help. They're a good motivator.
I definitely need them.
And especially when you have people doing it with you, it's good. Like the collective vibe of it all is
And
really
it's
good.
accountability too.
It is accountability too. More Death Note. Gotcha.
I know. I
Love
just, I think what I'm gonna do is listen to a little bit of Lady of Darkness and then listen to a little bit of Diet Brown and see which one kind of
You
caught.
like better? Yeah. Chainsaw Man 12. I need to pick Chainsaw Man back up too. I only read volume 1.
I'm very bad at staying up to date. Sometimes I end up just rereading some of my old manga series, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's me. I love a good reread. Don't get me wrong. Are you buddy reading next month? You're talking about me? I still haven't finished our buddy read yet. It's sitting on my desk upstairs. I'm sorry, friend. More Tale of the Moon. Oh,
Okay.
that's right. You gave it like 2 stars, didn't you, Liv? I won't read already in bed. So good night, Ray.
Our boundaries.
Damn, why did it all caps? You didn't mean to do that? It auto corrected you?
That's crazy.
Oh yes, you. What are you, buddy, reading this month? Our book. I'm gonna finish our book. I will do it. I accidentally took a hiatus too. I'm I actually, to be honest with you, I really want to, because the 3rd graphic novel comes out at the end of this month. And so I really want to read the 2nd one so that I am prepared for the 3rd one, because wild me, I pre-ordered it, but I still need to read Blue Star's Prophecy. I'm still in the middle of that.
Look at that. Fate intervened and said you both needed a break. At the same time.
Because it's so much freaking content, man. Warriors is like...
That's fair.
It's...
Because it's like a branch off series. It has like a bunch of branch off series, right?
It has like 9 story arcs right now. It's like 9 or 10 story arcs, and each story arc is about 6 books.
Listen, that's amazing, because knowing the attention span of like a middle schooler.
Yeah, they eat them up though. When I tell you, and I know that you know, but like it blows my mind because it is so much, and these kids are like so in between that. And then I just found out that Wings of Fire, book 16, which Ray, listen. I know we talked about that too, and book 16 is about to get released next year. Like people have been waiting on T.T. Sutherland to finish or to get to this next arc in Wings of Fire for a very long time, and now
listen,
it's releasing.
I teach 7th grade right now, and so I sent 4 of my students to the library this morning. 3 of them came back with like stacks of books, and I was like, you know what, that makes my heart happy to see. And one of them was carrying Amari and the Night Brothers, and so I was like, yes, that one is good.
Oh.
And another one was carrying The Selection, and I was like, you know what, for your age, this is fair. I was like, this fits. Fair. So it was funny. So if you needed some hope about our youth, there's 3.
I needed something. Okay. I don't know what I'm gonna do, because part of my plan too is that I needed to read stuff off of my physical shelf, which I have. I finished 2 volumes off of my physical shelf, which means that I can do 2 volumes from the library, which seems kind of wild for me to do something like that, but honestly, it's a good pattern for me. So what I may do is I have been reading The Summer Hikaru Died, which I did not know was horror until I read volume 1.
They just turned that into an anime, right, on Netflix?
Yes. Did not know it was horror.
Also, can we talk about Netflix acquiring all these manga, all these animes? This has been interesting.
That's why I got Netflix back. Netflix was canceled for a very long time.
I was happy about My Happy Marriage, but I was actually slightly annoyed because they did a new shoujo one, the spring of something, but they like staggered the release dates, and some people got it early, and I was like, don't do that. You were doing okay for a minute, but don't do that. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, I saw that was an anime on there too, so I was wondering, because the cover gave me like sad, but also kind of gave me scared.
That's okay. Listen. When I picked up, because we're still friends. She works in a different department, and she reads a lot of manga, a lot of manhwa, a lot of danmei, and so she has this cart by her desk, and she had the first volume of The Summer Hikaru Died, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. She was like, yeah, I got to get to that soon. And I was like, okay, you know what? I trust your judgment. Something about this appealed to you. Put it on hold. Literally was like, okay, this looks, sad girl vibes. I needed something like a little sad. And I was like, this is going to like get my emotions churning. I need a good cry. Boy, I opened up the first page. I said, Oh, oh.
It's not
I said,
sad.
oh no. And I didn't even read, I read no summaries. I read no reviews. I hadn't watched enough, like I hadn't even been really watching like YouTube like that. So I had no context for it at all. Imagine having no context thinking you about to get a sad girl manga and it's a horror. That is like an episode of Black Mirror. When I say I read the first volume, I was so confused. I was like, wait, hold on. I
There's
was like,
no
I have no idea
sadness.
what I just read. No idea what I just read, but I was like, I'm gonna stick with it. I went to work the next day and I put all the volumes on hold that are out. And I said, okay, we're gonna do this. Read volume 2, and I said, okay, you know what? I see where we're going with this. I mean, like,
That's fair.
but there are moments that are like very it's also queer,
Okay.
and it's not, you can, it's inferenced a lot in the beginning. And there's a specific scene where I was like, are we having like a queer awakening? But the way it was done was like in a horror way. I was like,
What a new
so
twist.
no, like literally, I promise you, I laid in my bed and I just kept looking at the one specific panel, and I was like, I mean, is it me that's interpreting this scene wrong? But I feel like this is very like I'm having a queer awakening, and we're having this moment together, but it's disturbing. It's body horror. It's just
It's like this wasn't what I expected to pick up on a random day.
my whole entire brain just was not, I don't know. I don't know. No, that's the thing, Liv. I don't even know. I don't even know if he's sad or he's just confused or he's settling. I just know. It's just confusion. But it's the kind of confusion where you're curious and you're like, you know what? I have no idea what is going on in this moment, but I'm gonna ride it out and see where the story takes me. Um, so yeah, and it doesn't. And that's the problem. These covers don't give horror.
But the thing is, because I've jump scared myself enough in life, when I saw those covers and I was like, it's not. It's like it looks sad, but then something in my gut said it's gonna trick you.
like like this does not look like horror. This looks like
I guess
this
it might
kid
be the
died
shadow. Like if you
and
look at the way they're drawn and the way the shadows are,
yeah,
it's
now,
nah.
now I can see it. Now I'm like, you know what? The way the shadow is hitting her body, it looks kind of creepy. In this, I don't know how I feel about the placement of her arms. It doesn't look like she has both of her arms.
Yeah.
He looks a little haunted. There's something looks wrong. Then you look at the back and everybody looks depressed and scared. And now, because I know it's a horror manga, now the signs are there. But no, not me stepping in like, oh, this is going to be just, I'm ready. I got my tissues near the bed. I'm prepared for what's going to happen. I was catfished, and I don't appreciate that. I don't like, because you have to understand too, like, I'm not a horror, I'm not a horror person.
Yeah. That's fair.
So, and it's not that I don't read it, but it's not a genre that like I run to, like, oh, I want to read a horror book. Oh, it's October. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I get like cutesy mysteries, maybe a little bit of horror.
You need a little prep time. Like I'm glad
Yeah.
you told me how Phantasma was, because I would not have been expecting that jumping in there. Like when I got to round 7 and I went, everybody's dead. Like I was like, what the hell? Like this isn't what I was expecting this to be.
I had to tell my coworker, I had to tell her because I told her I was reading it and she was like, oh, I was like, no, ma'am, this is not for you. I said, I know you, and I know you don't do well with any type of blood or gore. Not for you. You're gonna have to sit this one out.
It's very detailed, and I was not expecting it.
It's
So
not. It's not gory. Well, it's not. It's hard to explain. The premise is that we're following a main character whose friend went missing and then came back. but the friend is not his friend. It's something else that looks like his friend. And so think of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Like that's the vibe you get. But then I if I was to pitch this to anyone, I would say the first volume is going to be super confusing. It's not really going to make any sense because I think it's laying the groundwork for how the story is going to flow, right? And at the same time, you have this interesting dynamic between these two boys, right? Like that's why I said it's clearly queer, but how the story goes about it is very interesting because it's using the framework of horror to inference that, where there's more than just a friendship there, or someone has wanted more than a friendship there. And so the main character is processing the loss of his friend, but is almost settling for whatever this entity is, because in some capacity, he still has his friend. And so it does feel like it's part psychological, but then it's really like paranormal too. But then also there are some like body gorish things that do happen. It's a very, I don't know. I gave the first volume 3 stars because I was confused as shit. Went to the second volume and was like, oh yeah, 4 stars. Like I think I can get down with this. So that's where we're at. And so I think in this first sprint, I am going to pick up with volume 3. And then depending upon how I feel how that ends, I may just go ahead and jump into volume 4 because they're pretty quick reads. It's not super text heavy. Um, and I do appreciate that in the sense that I think I like horror manga from what I have read that really pushes you to use the artwork to make inferences about what's happening, to read like the character emotions and all that stuff. So we'll see. All right, let me get a timer. We're gonna do an hour. See if I remember how to do this. I haven't had to share my screen. I haven't had to do none of this
Mhm.
in a very long time.
That's fair.
Remember we used to do sprints all the time.
I know. I was like, remember when we all used to be friends? No, I'm kidding.
A
Like,
lot of what?
friends? No, I'm kidding. No, I remember when sprints were like a thing for everybody.
It
Everybody.
was a thing for everybody.
And then life hit everybody and everybody's been gone.
Okay.
Also
Is that what I do? Yes. Is that how that? Yes. Okay. Salter. Why do you always pop out at the most random times? Constant sprints used to be, it makes me feel like I'm getting old.
Yeah, like you
I
could
do
pop up
not have the capacity to
sprints
do
and then
constant sprints.
somebody else would have a sprint going and you could hop off there and somebody else would have a sprint going. We used to be fed.
Or when I used to fall asleep on sprints all the time.
Yeah, also
Those
that.
were the moments.
We were like, Ashley is comfortable.
Ashley has, I will never
And
live down that New Year's Eve live where I turned off my camera and forgot to turn off my mic and snored and everyone kept sprinting. How embarrassing.
hey, we know how life is. A
I
lot.
fall asleep on sprints in private now. Okay. This, just so y'all know, I fall asleep in private. I still fall asleep during sprints, but it is in the comfort of my privacy and not on a public platform. It is. It's classic move for me. It's wild. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get started, and I will see y'all in an hour. Happy reading. Alright, y'all. That's the end of our first sprint. This shit got me shook.
Was it scary? It was so funny.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to read something different after I finish this volume. I gotta read something that's a little weird.
Ashley was like, Dad, no more volumes.
I mean, I literally only have volume 5 left, and I think that might be. Hold on, let me see. I can't remember if that is the most current or not. I feel like it might be until. Let's see. In press paperback. Okay, yeah, it's the most current volume until the end of next month, and that's when volume 6 comes out. Oh my gosh. Not me sitting here being a little, oh boy. Oh boy.
You know what?
Oh boy.
It's okay.
I'm not gonna watch anime. That's
Fair.
a no.
I'm not a horror person, especially anime, because they do some fucked up shit with the horror anime. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they put in it, but it's a whole other level of just what the fuckery. So
I think seeing this come to life on panels, I mean outside of panels, would just be too much for me. So I'm not gonna watch. At one point I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch the anime. No, I'm not doing the anime. It's very intriguing. I think that the whole I feel like volume 3 and 4, well, 3 I think definitely got a little philosophical, which I found to be interesting, like what makes us human. Like if someone was to clone me down to even having my memories, would we be two different people or the same? Like what would make us different? So that aspect of it was very interesting. But at the end of volume 3 into volume 4 now, we're getting a little more on the horror side with things popping out and doing random shit. And I literally just was in a panel and they were in like a restaurant and there's a head that comes from underneath the table and I was like, you know what? No anime for me. That one panel I was like, yeah, I'm good. Like no.
No for me, dog.
No, it's a no for me. It's gonna be a no for me today. But honestly, like both of them easily 4-star volumes. It's creepy. And I had to like turn on something in the background because I'm like, I'm not finna sit here in complete silence and read this shit. There's no way. No, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. So, yeah, maybe I'll pick up like Apothecary Diaries or something.
I feel like that's a
something like that
good buffer.
to ease my soul. Volumes of 4. Oh no, cried a lot. You making me be like, no, never mind. I'll need to pick up Yona.
I know there are some sad like moments in it just because of the storyline. So I get that.
Chapter 21. Have you read it? Like, have you? Because you're just saying, I don't like that. I don't like just a, Like, what does that mean? It scares me too, Jennifer, and I haven't even read it. You read Maggie Gray, didn't you, Alana?
I did. I liked it, to be honest. Actually, it surprised me how much I did like it. I'm planning on trying the second one next month. I like because I've been saying it gives me like a different world vibes, but just like less Cosby.
Yeah.
But it gives me that vibes because of the fact that it takes place on the HBCU campus. But it took me a minute with the writing style to like get into the different perspectives because there are a lot of perspectives.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it once I got into the like hook of it.
Okay.
overall. And once I got like a sense of like the people and like we finally got a good count of like how many characters they were gonna give us. So I kind of liked it. I'm again, I'm it gave a good setup to the story and the world and the characters. So I'm
Hmm.
definitely gonna pick up the second book and see what the author does next with it because it does end on a interesting cliffhanger too.
Okay. I will at some point.
Yes, maybe.
If I start it though, I'm gonna continue it through the library.
Yeah, Yona. I've read. Well, I watched. Yeah, a few episodes I've watched. I like. I just I'm not I have to be in the mood to really watch or read a really long series.
Series,
Like,
yeah.
when I was younger and I had the time, like, in college, I couldn't read short manga series. I had to have a long one, so that
Yeah.
way I could, like, keep my interest going. But nowadays, it's really hard to get every time I see a long one, I'm like, "Oh, that might have to be put on pause until I have the time to do it," which sucks.
It does. It does because it takes place in a rural area. They feel so isolated.
Like Children of the Corn. Never
And
mind.
then you're learning the history of their town. Child, it has some Roanoke Colony type vibes. I said,
Yeah. It's pretty good, and it's definitely good if you're looking for, like, spooky vibes. I think it's gonna give you what you want overall. And I like how diverse the cast is, like, everybody's Black, but I like that they're all different, one like, the main girl, Maggie Grace, she's from, like, the suburban
yeah,
area, and then one girl's from, like, the rural, like, Louisiana or something,
okay.
and another girl's from New York, so you're getting different, uh I'm losing the
Black
word,
people are not a
diaspora?
monolith.
Yeah, like, you're getting a diaspora of people. So I actually really like it, and then so not only are you getting a diaspora of people, you're getting a diaspora of, like, magical beings too, because 'cause they're all different types of magical beings, and they, like, eventually will form, like, a friend group or whatever. So I liked that too. Again, I
I
like a
need to go
found
ahead and read
family,
it.
so it's good. Monet liked it too, if you ask her.
Well, I
Even
know
though
she read it.
you were so it was a
Hmm?
buddy read. It was a buddy read for us, but it just it, it became a silent buddy read where I finished it at the end of July and then she came back in August and went, "Oh yeah, I finished that book." And I was like, "I finished it too." So yeah. But we got it read.
Which sounds like everybody read for me.
At this point, yes.
Except for what's it called? Where I left you and Robin in the dust.
Oh, the
The
diviner.
Diviners.
I know. I'm
Hmm.
like, what happened to that, Ashley? You
I
were
don't
on
know.
something.
I don't know. That series is like crack for me.
I
So
blinked.
once I did my one little line that I needed to do, it was just on and popping
I
after
know. We
that.
blinked. And Ashley was like, "Oh, I finished," and we were like, "Wait,
I'm done.
wait a minute. We're doing like one a month."
I don't know. I Libba and it's so horrible because I still haven't read her new one yet.
I think I'm just gonna one and done her. Like, I think I'm just gonna stick to the diviners and then be done. So that way, if I read something else and don't like it, it doesn't ruin it for me.
No, I've heard really, really good things about this one.
Okay.
My hang up is that she disappeared for a very long time
Libra,
before
yeah.
she wrote that book. And I was on a Zoom thing where she was talking about the release and she was just like, "Yeah, I got back, basically I got back in the mood to write." And I was like, "See, what I don't want to do
Is
is read
start
that book,
something.
fall in love, and then you disappear on me again." Like,
No, that's actually very fair.
I'm
'Cause I
like,
was
"No,
gonna
you
say
can't do
she
that."
I think it's like her and like, isn't it Laini Taylor too? They kind of are very sporadic
They're
with their book
very
releases.
sporadic writers.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yes, very. Yes, and that's when I fell in love with January LaVoy
Yeah,
because
y'all.
she makes it sound like it's a full cast production and it's literally just her.
That second book, I was reading it, like listening to it in the car in broad daylight, and I was still scared.
Scared.
I was like, damn, I can't listen to it at night. I can't listen to it in the daytime. When am I gonna listen to it? Like,
I listen, I didn't think I was like that scary of a person, but life keeps showing me like, girl, you scary, you need to go ahead and accept it. Cause even when I was reading Phantasma, I was like, I don't know if
well,
I could be reading this at night.
because I found the audio at the end, and I realized they said the audio won like an award,
Yeah.
and I was listening to it, and I was like, I see why, because the voice that she hears in her head,
Oh no, no,
hearing
no, no,
that,
no, no. I'm good. I'm good.
honestly,
I'm
I was
good.
like, this shit is creepy.
No, never mind.
I
I'm
was like,
good.
I would have gone nuts if I was her already. Because what do
I'm
you
good.
mean?
I'm good.
That is, and the way the voice like repeats, it like speeds up in the book. So like it starts slow, and then when it's saying one word, it's like it'll start going faster. And I was like, that shit is creepy as fuck. I can't, but it was good. But I was like, also I
You're
can't.
not selling this to me. I hope you do
It was
realize.
it was kind of like the like the Diviner's audio, where like in the second one when the little girl would talk and then it'd be like the whispers. Like it's scary as hell, but it was good in the sense of I really was feeling stuff.
It's just some stuff I don't want to feel though. Like it's some stuff I'd be like,
Yeah.
I don't
I mean,
think I need to feel that
I think there's a
at
difference.
all.
I don't mind being creeped out a little bit, but there is a limit for me. Like I think the Diviners is my threshold.
I listen.
I am a
that-
scaredy cat.
Did I tell you the first time? So I have the original, like the original hardcover of the Diviners, and I think I read it physically once and had listened to it on audio. And when I met Libra Bray for the first time, I told her um, I was like, this book gave me nightmares. And she's signing my book, and I think she said like at the top of it, I'll have to look at it, but it's something along the lines of "Watch out, something's behind you."
That's terrible.
And I was like, that is
Crazy.
terrible.
No, because like I'm always usually I'm not always by myself, but like I'm by myself. So like sometimes I have to like limit the what I'm listening to if it's scaring me, because I'm like, y'all, I'm literally by myself. I can't do this.
Oh no, but you know what's wild though, Jennifer, is that the one that we're talking about with the diviners is not even horror.
It's like horror-esque. Like
No, Alana, that is like a historical paranormal book, okay?
it was intense paranormal. Listen,
It's not horror. The
I would
diviners is
say
not horror.
I would say horror light.
No, it
I
is
was
not.
scared, Ashley. Okay, anytime I get scared, I'm like, oh, this got a little bit of horror in it.
It was it she the way that she wrote the books, it was very because it was an entity that is present throughout the course of all four books, but the way she wrote kind of the things that he was doing was just really, really creepy. And then like, is it the first book where he has a song
Yeah,
where he's singing the song?
it's either the second one or the first or the second one. That
Yeah,
song was
that
creepy.
song was creepy. And hearing January sing it, I'm like,
No, okay, but actually, this third book takes place in an asylum. I was
it
like,
does, it does,
if that's
it
not
does,
horror, I don't know what is.
it does, it does. Yeah, yeah, it definitely does. Dang, you're making me want to reread that series next month.
Hey, Bria's reading it now, isn't she? Wait, no, she hasn't read the last book yet, I think.
Did she read what is
She
it?
read
Diviner's Lair Dreams. What is the third one?
uh Before the Devil Breaks You.
Before the Devil Breaks You.
She
Before the Devil Breaks You.
That's the asylum one.
Let me tell y'all something. Libra's ability, she writes too. You can tell how she shaped her books because it was around the 2016 election, and it was very clear how she was feeling around that. It was very, very clear, and I liked how she wove so much of that into the story while still giving historical context and almost paralleling what was happening and still is happening right now to what was happening during a time period because it takes place during the 20-ish 20s.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
20s.
so early 20th century. um just she's a very, very, very talented.
I do.
um
And the diversity was really good. I liked
it
all the
was
different
very,
races.
very good. She did a very, very good job with it. I constantly recommend that series. Like that is, I mean, they're long, like they're thick books, but I feel like she writes them in a way too that you get lost in the story and it doesn't feel like you're reading a 500-page book.
Yeah. Brie is on the last one. She said she won't pick it up because she doesn't want to finish the series. And I'm like, you gotta finish it.
But that's how I was because I didn't keep in mind now. I did not. I have read books 1 through 3 multiple times, and the only reason why I read that fourth book was because of y'all. That's the only reason why I made it through the fourth book.
I'm like,
If we had not done that buddy read, King of Crows would still be sitting on that shelf
I'm
unread.
like, how are you guys gonna know how it ends?
I just didn't care at that
Stopping
point.
at the third book, I would not have been able to do because
I
then I'm just sitting there. But then I
mm-mm.
can't say anything because I definitely have not picked up Goldfinch yet. It's just sitting because I'm not ready.
I think for me, my issues with series, I'm more inclined to like I think push through some things that are okay or mediocre. If I'm really invested in the world that the author has created, I hate seeing that come to an end because I feel like I'll never experience that magic ever again. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
once it's
fair.
experienced, you can't go back and have those feelings again. And that's where I get stuck in a lot of series. Like, but this month, I will say, I have been really pushing once a week to get through a series.
Well, that's good.
Like somewhere like if I've started the series, I'm going ahead and pushing through. Like I did Jason Reynolds' track series last week, and this week I've been finishing up the Tristan Strong trilogy. And I hate that like when I pick a series back up and I'm like, damn, this shit is good. Like, I can't believe I waited X amount of time to get to this. And like Tristan Strong's a good example where like the first book was good,
Mhm.
but the second one is a fucking banger.
Yeah, I think because I think I was in it might have been in a video I filmed and just haven't edited and put out because I'm me. What I was just talking about, and this is kind of like a semi bad example, but like when Twilight first came out, that was like the first series like
Yeah,
I read and like loved it to like and like fell in love with reading with. And so I was talking about how like as soon as I finished that series, I was trying to find that high that I got from it in other series, and it
you
was
couldn't
so
find it.
hard because like I would find a new series to love,
Yeah.
and then I would have to try to find that feeling again in other books, and it was always
It's
slightly
hard.
different.
It's so hard. Yeah. Because you're constantly chasing that high that you
It's like it's a
can't.
little bit of like an addiction.
It is. It really is. And it's horrible because it's like, when you find a series that's top tier, not just one book was good and the rest, I mean like
It was the
literally as
entire
like as a
series.
total, it's a top tier series. That is very difficult to find where you feel like collectively that just it was, you have some books that are stronger than others, but collectively a top tier series. I don't think y'all know how much I hate using God tier. I hate that so much. But I don't think I really have that many like series where I was like, this is it for me. Like this is where this is your baseline
Yeah.
of whether you're a good series or not. And honestly, like the Diviners, it's been so hard to find anything that really touches how much of a masterpiece that series is for me
Mhm.
personally.
It's interesting too, because like as I feel like a teenager, I found a lot of those series, but as an adult, it's a lot
It's
harder.
harder.
Like I still have a lot of the series that I loved as a teen, like, on my shelf because I just had that, like, attachment to them. But
Yeah,
looking at my shelves now that, like, and the stuff that I've collected after that, and it's like I only have, like, maybe one or two series that I'm like, "No, this is my top tier or, like, my favorites for sure," and I felt
yeah,
was like, I felt good enough about it that I invested in having the entire series or whatever,
yeah,
which is pretty rare.
yeah. I mean, Warriors.
Yeah.
Warriors is a top tier banger for me. Like,
I think I have, like, The Plated Prisoners by Reverend Kennedy. I have that series, and then, Saba Tahir and her why am I blanking on the name? Uh,
are you talking
I'm
about
and Ember in the Ashes.
yeah, Ember and Ashes? Yeah,
Yeah, like, I loved that series, and then I have, like, technically, I have all of Emily Henry's books, but that's not really a series, they're just all standalones, but yeah, like, it's really
it's hard.
it
It
actually
is
really
hard.
is.
I will say that um why am I forgetting? I'm blanking, and I know the series is over there. Oh, Dawn of the Arcada by Ray Toma, that manga series. That is a top tier manga series for me.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I oh, sorry, go ahead.
I've never thought that, because when I fell in love with Food Wars and Nana. I feel like everybody knows it at this point. Like those are my like top tier manga series. Like I have not finished either one of those, but I love them and I haven't finished them. I think because I have such an attachment to them for a very specific reason. But I read Dawn of the Arcada, I think last year in September. Oh my gosh, just an impeccable, like, I read all 13 volumes in
Yeah,
1 month. And it was just, I mean, so I don't know. Like, I think those three,
I think so for me, like, manga is slightly different in my
yeah,
brain. So I have a bunch of I have a bunch of series that are, like, top tier. My problem is they're older, so they're
yeah,
not, like, new, you're not gonna I mean, you'll find them in the store probably still, but, like,
yeah,
they're not as relevant anymore. But I hold on to them, so, like, Fruits Basket, um, Caracano is another one, most of them are
yeah,
shoujo. Let's see, I have W. Juliet's. I have Skip Beat is my big one that's still going, and I'm not caught up, but at the same time, I'm like, I know that bitch is gonna keep going, so I'm okay.
you're done. You're not gonna do it.
And then I have like Gaku and Alice, and yeah, I just have like a bunch of series that, and not that I promote like the apps, but
Yeah,
I used to read on the apps a lot, and so that's how I found a lot of these. Like, listen, if there's anybody that's against pirating, I don't do it much anymore, but when I was younger and I didn't know better, it was definitely what I used because I was a child and I was poor and I couldn't buy manga like that. And some of them weren't translated yet or even being sold in stores.
yeah,
Like, I think that's the other thing with those arguments. It's like totally get it. Like, definitely pay the artist, but like I wouldn't have found some of my favorite series without those online translations because
yeah.
they weren't being published like that. Manga was just not it's not as I don't want to say it's not as relevant, but it wasn't as
It's not like how it is now.
yeah, it wasn't as much of an
Yeah,
investment as it is
yeah,
now for like bookstores and stuff.
yeah. I think people, I don't know, like, because I haven't been reading manga for as long as some people that I know, like you've been reading manga for a much longer time than me, even with our difference in age, like from the time that you started reading till now, like significantly more time than me. But even in the time that I started reading manga, I feel like it's so interesting to see like the shift
Mhm.
and how people perceive it and how, for lack of a better term, because I don't like using it, but like mainstream it's become.
Yeah. It's
It really it's so, and like I think there's this part of me that's like happy that kids can enjoy that openly and freely.
yeah,
And then part
it's
of
so
me is
funny.
like, So we all went through that foolery.
Literally, all of my 7th graders the other day were talking about Hunter x Hunter, and it took me so much to not like be like, I watched it. Like I was like, we can't bond on that level. But it was so funny listening to them talk about it. But I remember, and that's because I remember like, so I when I was in middle school was when I got my first computer. And so I always say that's when I like discovered the internet. Like I knew it existed before, but that's where I got like my own.
Yeah.
And the this is how much of a nerd I am. The first thing I did was I went online, found the entirety of Sailor Moon, and watched that shit every night.
It's okay. I used to have Sailor Moon underwear. Like, it's
Yeah, like
fine.
I was like, oh my god, I can watch YouTube videos. But the thing is, I just went and started watching anime. And so the thing was, I would watch like NBs, like the little sad music videos, and I would find the animes that were in the clips, and I would whatever one I found to be interesting, I would figure
Yeah.
out where I could watch it. And so from there is when I like would start reading, and it definitely wasn't as mainstream. Like I kind of had to hide it because I didn't want people to think I was a weirdo.
Yeah, it's different. It's so different. And like even hearing like one of my close friends, like her teen daughter is really into it. And it's so fascinating, like just seeing the difference. But I must admit, like I love being an adult that's immersed in manga and have to work with kids because it is another point of connection.
Mhm.
And it's very and then they look at you like, well, what do you know about this? And you look at them like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I'm like,
We walk so you could run.
yeah, like we helped make it mainstream a bit. Like no, I get it. It is always funny. Or like when they're into the older stuff like Naruto or something. Like I remember when I was teaching in DC, there was a day where it was like a holiday, so it was technically a half day. So
Mhm,
technically we didn't have classes, but I was like, what am I supposed to do with these kids if we're not really supposed to be holding classes?
mhm.
And so I literally just put a One Piece all day, and like the kids who came into my room and watched it because I was in the middle of watching it anyways. So I was like, well, I'm gonna watch this. So if you guys want to hang out and watch it too, great. And it was a great experience. Like
That
would I
is,
do that now? Probably not. But it was a great one that day I did it. So it's definitely a moment.
it is. And then now you have things like I think about like, how the world has been taken over by K-pop demon hunters. And like it's so fascinating to me just to kind of see things evolve into what they are now. And now even the expansion of seeing things like manhwa, I think that that's still a market that people are getting adjusted to, but then you have something like
Even
solo leveling that's completely blown up.
yeah, but even when you go into like Barnes and Noble or like any other bookstore now,
Yeah,
manhwa is there, and
it's
that's a great
there.
thing to me too, is how because before it was just manga, and I think manhwa was its own thing. Like
Yeah,
it's its own thing, but I think it wasn't as accessible as
yeah,
manga, which is crazy to say because manga still at some points wasn't even that accessible at some
accessible.
points either. Uh, but yeah, like, and I'm glad it's there. It was just
Yeah.
always interesting.
But I think it's just this interesting, and now even now with, Donmei now being in the market, like, Seven Seas acquiring so much Donmei, and that's its own beast, you know what I'm
Mhm,
saying? So I think like it's interesting watching kind of these cross-cultural exchanges, and I think that with technology, ironically, I think that that changes so much of what
mhm,
we had access to in the past as opposed to what we have access to now, where we do have so much cross-cultural exchange and how
mhm,
these companies now are able to license so much content. I mean, there's just I can't keep up with everything that's coming up. And the person that does a selection for the manga in our system, I don't even know how she does it, right? Like she's responsible for picking out and buying all that stuff, and it's like there's so much stuff on the market. Like how do you even freaking decide?
I know just from like when I was a bookseller and we were in that. I remember that time when manga was we were like Barnes and Noble decided to just expand, and they were
Yeah.
like we're basically expanding our manga sections. It's blowing up. It was probably around the time COVID was hitting too.
Mhm.
And I just remember I was just like, the way that I would decide was I was just like, I'm just gonna, also because I have a lot of friends who watch anime. I watch anime, and I was like, most of the time, most animes have a manga, so I would choose kind of what was popular, and then that's how I would kind of decide, because I was trying to get like, I didn't want to. I got some of the niche stuff that I knew like
Mhm.
were good, but then I was like, let me make sure I'm trying to get stuff for everybody, like for those people who are trying to get into it, like where are the like what are some of the easier series they can pick up
Yeah.
and see how they feel in general. Like my usually when someone's like, I want to get into anime or manga, what do I pick up? My always answer is Death Note to start with, because it's short.
Yeah, Death Note was one of my first ones too.
Yeah, it's done, it's short, and it's an OG. So I was like, if you like that style, then I can guide you on where to go next. If you end up not liking that style, then we can try again with something else. Like I always kind of recommend an OG because I can guarantee you it's been on long enough that there's enough content that you will be busy for a bit.
Mhm.
And again, you can check and see if that's the style you're gonna go with ultimately. But it is kind of all consuming now too, especially now that like streaming services also have picked up on like anime, and they're getting now doing their own thing with it.
They are. They this like we were just talking about earlier. It was so fascinating just when I restarted Netflix to see how much they licensed.
Hmm.
I was like, how do y'all have access to so much of
and
this stuff?
and I knew it was a big deal because so like I do anime and manga, but I've also been in like the Asian drama world for a really long
Yeah.
time. And
Hmm.
so when Netflix started producing their own, I was like, that's insane. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Because
Yeah.
it's like it's a niche thing. Like there when I first started, there was only like, I mean, there was a few drama websites you could watch, but there was like one that everybody used that it was like you can guarantee it was kind
Yeah.
of, it was like trustworthy and you weren't going to get a virus. Because you're streaming from not from another country, so you got to be fair. and then it ended. It like lost its licensing, and I remember it for me. It was like I was like, "What am I gonna do? Like I don't know where to go."
Devastated.
And then finally there was like another one, and it's been the site that I've used since then.
Hmm.
But like just to see like Netflix start to either license them or make their own is very
Yeah.
interesting, especially K dramas.
It's nice to see kind of this expansion. And then even, I've seen some even US based companies now. I don't know if y'all have heard of like Saturday Morning Comics, where they do things that are manga-esque,
Mhm.
except they don't read right to left. They do left to right. And it's interesting because even when we first like acquired them, it was three of us who are in our system that are like really avid manga readers. And when it came in, we were like, where do we like, does this go in graphic novel? Does it go in manga? Like where? Where? So like I said, it's just this cross cultural thing that we have going on. And I promised myself too this year that like I was gonna get back into Danmei. Like I'm going to do it because I started last year and everybody was like, "Girl, why are you starting with that? Why are you starting with that specific series?" And I was like, "Well, because the same person who had the summer Hikaru died on their cart is the same person who told me to start with that fucking Dawn May." And that's why so I was like, I'm not taking any more risks because every time I get on the internet and I say like I'm starting this, people are like, "Girl, like where?
Are you
Who
sure?
told you to do that?" It's the same person who keeps
That's
telling me these things.
I'm also, okay, yeah, I use Viki now. Before it was Drama Fever. It was another name. It was actually licensed. It was like owned by a company in the U.S. and then they just lost the licensing for the site, I guess, entirely or something.
Dang.
Yeah. So now I use just Viki, and then that's what I use. Everybody, sorry, I was looking at the comments.
Mm-mm. I There's just so much, y'all. There's just so much stuff out there, which I'm happy about. But then it comes down to like, where do you start?
Yeah.
Even with Manhwa now, like for me, it's kind of like, I have my series that I'm like stuck to, and I literally um as soon as the volume comes out, I'm reading it, and that's The Remarried Empress and Villains Are Destined to Die. And I tell you, me in those series is like white on rice. Okay, and so the drama, I'm here for it, but even after that, it's kind of like, how do you know what to like look for and what to start with? It's just so much content to sift through.
Yeah.
There's so much content to sift through.
I forgot how I would used to do it. Like anime was a little bit easier. Like again, I would use the man like the little MVs people would make on YouTube.
Yeah.
That's how I would find. I'm like, luckily like especially the ones that would list all the anime in their comment section
Mhm.
after. I'm like, you are a godsend because I would use that to find what I would try to watch next. And then for manga, I don't even remember because what was I think Fruits Basket was my first manga, and then I don't remember how I was able to, and I think it was because Fruits Basket, because the anime ended.
The anime.
The original ended at 25, and that was only halfway through the series. Honestly, it wasn't
Yeah.
even like a quarter through the series. And I remember when I learned that there was more to the story, I was like, I'm intrigued enough to read it. And then I did, but I don't necessarily, and I guess I just went off maybe vibes or recommendations because at the
Yeah.
time Borders was still a store.
Oh my gosh.
And I
Yeah.
actually liked so Borders website was a lot easier for me to navigate than Barnes and Noble's website.
Hmm.
For some reason, I guess they had very different interfaces. And so with Borders, whenever you would click on a book, it would actually sometimes recommend you, like, if you liked this book, these are, I mean, other sites do it now, but it was like kind of newer to me then. And it'd be like, try these ones because these are all other manga that everybody's liked from reading this one.
Yeah.
And I would kind of do that. Or I would just kind of start searching like anime or manga like Sailor Moon and then take suggestions from that.
No, because really, I mean, my first anime was Sailor Moon, but I think Sailor Moon at that point was not streaming, was on television in the US.
Yeah.
So, I
Which
mean,
I
I
would,
grew up on Sailor Moon. I mean, that was probably the story of so many millennials growing up watching Sailor Moon or Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. Like that was, household TV shows
yeah.
for us. And I didn't really explore more deeply, I think, really until about 10, 11 years ago. And that's when I really, really started getting knee deep into stuff.
Yeah.
But
I started exploring more when we moved to Virginia and then we got the cable where you had the Funimation channel. So I would let that play. So that was just kind of how I did it. But that's also fair.
I used to.
I used to. I think I still might have it. Like I use it every now and then. I just forget to input things because I have a terrible memory sometimes. I made a color-coded spreadsheet.
Hannah.
You know what? I love that so fucking much. If I wish I was like an organized little like child because that would have helped me out a lot instead of just looking at YouTube videos and searching searching the numbers I could. I had tabs out of tabs at the wazoo on my computer.
A color coded spreadsheet.
I love that so much.
We aspire.
Honestly, I would just write them down and then I would just put the list in my computer and then close the computer. so I can resume next time. And the crazy part is, I'm sure my parents didn't know what the hell I was doing because they had never watched
No, but you know what?
anime.
Now thinking about it too, when I used to go back home, I I started watching when Nana went to Hulu.
Ah.
I was watching Nana at at my parents' house. And I like sub. I mean I watch dub,
Mhm.
but I love hearing Japanese.
Mhm.
Um it's two languages that I like hearing like spoken. Vietnamese and Japanese are two language I just like hearing it.
Mhm.
And so I was watching Nana and my stepdad walked in and was like, "What the fuck is that?" Because in his mind, right? He was born in the 50s. He walks in and he sees the cartoon on the screen. And you have to think like, I guess if you I don't know, like just because I can say if I hear Japanese, like I can hear like if I hear it, I'm gonna know Japanese because I'm accustomed to hearing it.
Yeah.
But if you're not accustomed to hearing Japanese and you walk in your house and it's cartoons and it's Japanese in the background,
Right.
he's like, why are they talking so fast? And I'm like, they're speaking a completely different language. And he's like, well, what the fuck are you watching?
No, for real, because I think with Sailor Moon, it was in English because that it was my first time that was the first anime I watched, and then when I found it the first time on the internet, the only version I could find was the English. I didn't even think to try to find the other version.
Yeah.
And then on the Funimation channels, it was all in English. So my parents just were like, "Oh, they're cartoons," and I'm like, "No, they're sophisticated." Like, no, that's
No, it's right.
not what
You're
they
watching
are.
fucking cartoons.
But I think they realized the depth of it when I think it was my dad or my mom. I made one of them take me to my first anime convention.
Oh, and then it got real.
And I think my dad took me for the first time. And so I remember they like sat in the lobby and they're like, "Okay, you can go off and like do whatever you do in this." And so I it was when I had just transferred middle schools, so it was a way so my one friend at my old middle school, it was a way for me and her to meet up and hang out for a little bit. And so she, like, dressed up in a maid costume and everything and came and got me and we walked around, and then leaving, my dad was like, "That was interesting. So people just dress up in costumes all the time?" And I was like, "Yeah,
All the
exactly."
time.
That's so funny. Yeah,
Not
no.
blur.
Hi, Monet. Talking
Why are
about
you not here? Is the question that needs answers. Not you dropping in hello and you had the opportunity to be here. What is you doing?
also, I saw someone had shouted out W Juliet. Yes, I love that series. Uh, I also ran that on the Scantillations apps. So, but I made up for it because I've collected the first series. I went through all the secondhand stores and I like picked out what I could, and that's like my prize, my pride that I've done that with some of my older series. Which is
What are some series that you want to read that you haven't gotten a chance to like start yet?
whew, oh man, for manga,
Yeah,
definitely Yona of the Dawn. I liked Snow White with the red hair,
I
and
heard that's good too.
the crazy thing is I think I started it a really long time ago and I liked it, but then I just fell off of it. But I watched the entirety of the anime and I loved the anime. So I
Yeah,
want to go back and I read and reread like start over anyways with the manga. So I love to do that. And then damn. Um I want to try Jujutsu Kaisen.
I read one episode. Not one episode. My brain's fucked up. I read one volume of JJK. It was good.
Yeah, and so trying to see I think there might have been something else. Maybe oh, hold on. I'm blanking. I'm pulling up Crunchyroll so I could see. Uh maybe I liked Skip and Loafer. I liked Honey Lemon.
Skip and Loafer is Good. You said you like honey lemon soda?
Yeah, I thought that was cute. I
Okay.
watched all these the anime though. Oh, The Ancient Magus' Bride. I want to read that as well. Also Soul Eater, because I've never read it. I've only watched it.
I don't know. I felt like, no, I didn't read Soul. Yes, I did. I think I've read one volume of Soul Eater. I read Noragami for the first time last year, and I'm good on that.
That's fair. I
Yeah.
just think like with Soul Eater, you had to have watched it in its prime. And not that it's out of its prime, because I think it's still like popular, but like the animation style is so fucking weird. The storyline is hella weird, but like when you get into it, you're like, yeah, it's different. I love it. um Plus I like the competition, and the characters are definitely unique and weird. Ooh, dang. Monet, what is the buddy read? That's a little concerning.
Let
I'd
me
like
look at the cover
to hear.
first.
Is the cover supposed to sway me for or against? What about you, Ashley? What are I feel like you listen.
Ooh. I don't need to start any series, to be honest with you. I
I've
need to
definitely
catch up on stuff.
I need to finish. I do have series I need to finish, like, or catch up on. Like I need to finish or catch up on A Sign of Affection. I really
Me
like that one.
too.
I really like that one. And
I do
that
too.
same I didn't realize it, but that same author wrote another series. I think it's that author that I also read on the apps. But they just actually and this is like full circle moment. I read it like 10 years ago, but they just started publishing it like 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay, that was my question. How did you read? Is it Neighborhood Story by
Mhm.
Ayazawa? Is that how you read it?
No, I watched it. I watched it. I did read. I will say I did. Did I read? I read Paradise Kiss, but I watched Neighborhood Story, and then actually when they just redid it, I've been buying the volumes because
Okay,
there's
because
only
that's
four.
what I was like when you sent me that voice note. I was like, how did Alana even read this shit? Like, it
If I
just
did,
started getting repubbed.
I'm gonna also say if I did read it, it was on the apps. Listen, at this point,
Who knows?
I was doing a lot on the apps. Like I was reading it where I could. Like I really was. So like if I couldn't find it in the store, I was
Yeah.
going online.
But you know what's so wild is this is how I know that manga has the interest in manga has shifted so drastically. When I first started reading Nana and collecting it, it was fucking impossible
Mhm.
to get that shit in print. The
Yep.
copies that I have, eventually I will replace the copies, but the copies I have, a lot of them are ex library copies because there was no other way for me to literally get them. And now, of course, because they've repubbed her stuff, and now Viz has licensed two of her other series outside of Paradise Kiss and Nana. It, I'm like, damn, like that alone for me was like, okay, that's a major shift.
Yeah, I like even some of the older series I've been trying to kind of collect, and they're like pretty much out of publishing print. Some of them are library connections. Um, I'm excited because you said they're redoing Nana. Aren't they doing
They've already, yeah. Well, I heard that she's also continuing.
Yeah, there's rumors that she's continuing, and I thought I saw at least they reprinted the first one, right? For the anniversary or something.
Wait, they reprinted it.
Are they reprinting it? Am I wrong? I could
I
be
don't
wrong.
know. I don't know. I just found out that it was rumors that she was going to continue Nana, because I think I had said that about that
Yes.
it was the 21 volumes and it's not finished.
Oh shit. My
But then
bad.
someone was like, "Oh no, she's supposed to be finishing it."
Oh yeah, so there is a 2-in-1, a deluxe 2-in-1 omnibus edition of Nana for the series 25th anniversary with volume 1 scheduled for October 21st of this year. So,
Oh,
um
take my
which
money.
so anytime they start to recognize a series for its 25th anniversary or whatever anniversary, like they did with Sailor Moon, like they did with the Fruits Basket, I'm hella excited because sometimes that means they'll either redo like an anime or the manga or like reprint the manga, or sometimes they'll pick up some of the other series the author has done. And there is another series that the author of Nana did that I also read online that I absolutely love, though. Like, I absolutely love. And I'm hoping that it, like, with them shining this much light on Nana and her maybe getting back to it, like, they'll be like, hey, actually, we should publish this series in English that you wrote however many years ago, because I would
Right.
love to own it.
I know she was having some health related things go on. But I mean, I'm glad that it's circled back around, and now that they've acquired like some more of her other titles, because even when I got confused when I saw what's the one? It's Neighborhood Story, and then I forget the name of the other one that's more of a sci-fi-ish.
Oh,
Um,
I don't remember.
it has a sci-fi feel to it.
Sci-fi?
Yeah, hold on. I could tell you the name.
The Last Quarter?
Yes, The Last
I've been
Quarter.
seeing those covers. I haven't decided
Yeah.
if I want to read it though yet or not.
I have not read the first volume. I actually should read the first volume this month, to get a feel for it, because I was like, I'm not gonna buy anymore unless I like it. But I think it's, oh my gosh, Alana,
Hmm.
now I see
Which part?
the 25th anniversary edition.
Yeah, and then I'm looking
And
now
then
and it says last month she did state that the story of Nana is in its final stage and she intends to finish.
to finish it.
Because they announced in March that she was contributing an exclusive new chapter, a new manga chapter for an anthology, not Nana related, just in general.
Yes, just
And so
in
it's the
general.
first time she actually has a new work coming out in general. So I'm sure she
Okay.
was like, I can't do a new work and then not finish Nana. That's
Not
great.
finish Nana. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna get these 20th anniversary editions.
I think you should.
I am, because my editions are they're so beat up, and they're used copies. There's just nothing wrong with that. Um, but I wanted to. I'm glad I did not do that sooner. Now that these editions are coming out, and
Well,
I like
sometimes
that
I
they're
wait.
spacing them out.
Yeah, I try to wait, but it always excites me. I love that they're circling back around and they're recognizing that these series are still popular and they're reprinting them. Because I'm like, thank God, because I hate the idea of them just not existing anymore. Ultimately, I'm trying to find. I was gonna send you a picture of the series that I like by her.
Oh damn! They have the pub dates for Fly Fly. Now you got me looking on here to see when
Sorry,
stuff is coming out.
sorry to your wallet.
I don't need to. You know what? I was telling somebody today. I know that may just start reading. What's it called? The Remarried Empress. I
Mm.
might just start reading that as a webtoon instead of waiting for the trades, because I was talking to somebody at work, and she's read, because she was asking me, she's like, where are you in the story? And I was telling her, and she's like, what volume is out? And I was like, it's volume 9. And she was like, oh no, you have a long ways to go. And I was like, damn. I said, well, volume 9 came out in January. It's fucking September, and there's no news of a volume 10. I was like, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
It's hard. Like, that's hard to just kind of be like, just chilling and waiting.
No, it is. It's because it's always like a what if. Like, I feel like it's because I've been seeing it a lot on Twitter, the past couple of years, especially people in the shoujo manga community, where they've literally been on a waiting game of like, are they gonna republish this? Are they gonna do
Are they
this?
not? Yeah,
Are
like
they
that's
gonna do
tough.
it? So I remember like every time there's an anime convention, they're like holding their breath because they're like, maybe a publishing company will announce
license, yeah.
or renew. So like I think this year it was like Sugar Sugar Rune is getting a new anime. I think they're republishing the manga, which is kind of insane, and so everybody's excited about that. And then I think Kodansha is that
Mhm.
okay? I was making sure I said that right. They announced they were republishing Mars, which was one of my
Really?
OG. Yeah,
Yeah, yes, you're OG.
and I was kind of excited about that. I was like, that story is trippy, but I'm actually kind of, because I feel like it's very niche in a way because I haven't heard a lot of people who've read it. But I definitely was like, dang, you guys are really going back to some of these classics, and I really enjoy that. Or at least classics in my mind, I will say.
Yeah.
Also, Monet, I did look at that cover, and it's interesting. For sure. Yes, I loved Mars. I think it was my first, because all I had read before then was like the fluffy, well, not always fluffy, but like mostly the shoujo, like the very not innocent, but just like, I don't know how to describe it, but the more not as like dark psychologically. I think maybe Fruits Basket might have been the darkest. Sailor Moon has some dark moments too. But Mars was like my first jump into like psychological trauma in stories. And it actually made me realize how much I enjoy it in some of my stories from the viewpoint of like observation, if that makes sense. Like I guess it was my first realization that I like psychology too. Like I like the
Gotcha.
foray into that mindset and like what like draws people into such dark places.
Did you read Blood on the Tracks?
I haven't. I know y'all I've been pushing it. You and Brie have an agenda.
No.
Well, Brie has an agenda, I say.
Blood on the Tracks, I still haven't finished it, which is crazy because I've read 16 volumes and only have one volume left. And I just haven't been able to bring myself to do it because it should piss me off. So, but when you said psychology, it made me think about Blood on the Tracks. Also, Monster is another one.
I read that's the one with the girl and the guy, right?
The siblings, and one turns out.
Oh, never mind. There's another one. Okay.
Okay.
I do know which one you're talking about though.
Mm-hmm. Bree really, really likes Monster.
Monet finished Blood on the Tracks. Because don't you have Bree's volumes, Monet? Not to call you out. I'm just asking. I was like, didn't Bree send you those? Question. Sorry. Don't take that as a shot, please. That wasn't. I was just asking. But yeah, I do like the four-way. I also like sports. So Haikyuu.
I was about to say Haikyuu.
Listen, when those Funko Pops came out, they're all up on my shelf. I was like, I gotta have them all. I have not the whole team.
How much my business paid you to my
I'm sorry. Don't say things in front of me then, okay? I soak things in and then they come back later when I ask about them.
Have you read any of Blue Lock?
Is that the soccer one?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't yet. My best friend, she actually loves it. She's seen the anime and she might have read the manga, I don't know. But I haven't tried it yet. I gotta get back into it. I was watching that fighting one. I can't think of the name right now. I know that's not descriptive. Actually, Crunchyroll. I'm gonna save everybody my confusion and just go to Crunchyroll because it's there. It's not Windbreaker, is it? No.
Windbreaker is one that I do want to read. I've heard good things about Windbreaker, but I haven't had the chance to really. Maybe that's what I need to do. Read a sports manga. Speaking of, y'all, we're gonna do one last sprint in a minute to close this out.
Yeah, I did. I was watching Windbreaker and I actually like that a lot. That one a lot too. So yeah, I definitely do gotta read more sports manga. I've watched the animes a lot, but I gotta read them.
Did you read the last part? No,
I did.
you did? What did
Mhm.
you end up going with? Or did you
I
decide?
started A Lady in Darkness. It's definitely interesting. I can see why Olivia said it was Throne of Glass-esque. I'm
Hmm.
still gonna, because I only listened to the first chapter, so I'm still gonna give it a try. But I'm sensing we'll see. We'll see how
Okay.
it goes. But I think I might probably listen to one more chapter of it, and then I might switch to Diabound just to give
Okay.
that a try.
Give it a try.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish volume 4 of The Summer Hikaru Died, and that's it for me for the night. No more of The Summer Hikaru Died. Um, and then I'm gonna find something that's a little light and fluffy.
So not Phantasma.
So not Phantasma. I will not pick up Phantasma again until tomorrow. That's a no-go. I'm not reading her at all. I read it during my lunch break today. Um, yeah, it's fine for me to read it then, but no, not
No, I
not
will
this
say
late.
the ending was definitely interesting. So
Damn, I don't know if that's good or bad.
I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, to be honest. Like not in like a bad way or anything. I genuinely don't know. I kind of guessed it, but at the same time, I wasn't sure how. Like with my guess, I was like, I don't know how that would play out.
Hmm.
So yeah, but because what level are you at, or what level did you?
Hold on, let me see. You're right, because reading with my eyes has been reserved for manga, so I'm super, super behind. But mm, I'm past Wrath.
Wrath was which one was that one? That the one?
I don't remember what level that was.
Was that the one where they had to choose somebody?
Yes.
Okay. And then the next level after that.
Hold on, I'm about to see. Is Night 7. So
Yeah,
I'm in chapter 37. Night 7 starts chapter 39.
yeah, that shit was wild.
Okay, so do not read that.
Yeah, don't read it.
Okay.
I thought you had read that already because you were like, it's really bloody.
No, it was because I was talking about the one with the
Oh no,
yes,
chapter or that night 7 is gory as fuck.
more gory than the
Yeah, yeah. I was like, what the hell did these people
I mean
sign up
people were
for?
getting
Like
split in
when
half.
when I tell you, okay, this is how bad it is. Night 7, Cade is sitting there, and I think that man is about to piss his pants out of fear for what they
Oh
had to go through.
man.
Like they all threw up after that because they were so sick. That's how bad it is. It was good, but it was bad.
Okay, because I thought that the swinging things and cutting
No,
people in
that
half.
was crazy. And I thought that was gonna probably be the worst of it, and that I was wrong. And I was like, dang,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
glad I told a girl don't read that. I'm so glad because she was like, we were talking, and I was like, you can't. And that was, I had just started it, and I was like, you're not going to be able to do this. But now, as I've progressed through it, I'm like, you definitely cannot read this book.
I will say Night 7 is like the most gory, but it's like the last of the gore kind of. Like if that makes sense.
Yeah, because it's, I mean, well, I think after that, I would have expected it to get more gory since it's just
I think I probably would
level
have,
7.
and this says a lot for me who doesn't like horror. I would have maybe preferred it just because of that was the theme that we were on, but I guess I can understand why they
Did
thought
it switch? Let me just ask you this. Did it switch to more of like a psychological thing in the last levels? If they even make it to the last levels, because I
um
feel like that's also a possibility.
the last level, I'll say is the last level she makes it to, yes.
Hmm.
But I think that's the only one that's psychological. The one before that one, uh, it was violent, but it just wasn't as violent as the
As
other one.
violent as 7.
Yeah, like
I think this is
honestly, all the rest of the rounds are compared to 7 are tame. It's
damn.
Because when I tell you I wasn't expecting, because I was trying to figure out what the punishment was gonna be for their round 2, and so
Mhm.
I was sitting there and I was like, "What is it?" And then it happened, and I was like, "That's crazy."
I don't know, people are calling that romantasy, but I'm not feeling romantasy from that book.
It's like, this is some dark shit, bro.
Yeah, even when I'm starting it, I was like, because I thought it was gonna be cute, cute play,
I thought it was just like some scare
some
tactics.
scare tactics. But then I started reading this shit and I was like, and y'all are calling this romantasy? This is like horror,
No, like for real,
straight horror,
like I didn't expect people to die the way that they did, and I was like,
brutally, brutal, just brutal.
this is some Final Destination.
It is,
It's
but
not,
that's what I'm
I will
saying.
say it's not at the level, but it like could be. Like if they needed new ways to torture people, they could read this book.
Because when I tell you I got to that scene and I was like, wait, hold on. Hold on.
Mhm.
Not we getting chopped and diced.
Yeah, and that was wild, and I was like I was kind of surprised, and I was like, "Wow, this is kinda gory," and then, again, I got to 7, and I was like,
But you know what? I should have known. I should have known that things was going to be off to the side when they was in that room on that bed and that blood came out. And everybody was like,
I know,
why
I was
stop?
like
I said, you know what?
it's giving Carrie.
It's giving Carrie. It really felt, and I was like, I guess, you know what? If you're in the moment and you got to get to where you need to get to, like, we stop.
Also, I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't think it's a spoiler, it's just something I don't think anybody's mentioned it. The first book is a standalone, technically.
Yes.
I didn't know that. So then
Yeah.
when they were like, "Oh, the second book, it follows the sister," I was like, "I wanted more of this." I wanted you to prolong this a little bit, but okay.
I heard that they don't, you don't, I don't, yeah. When people, but I've also heard from people who read Enchantra that it is not as good as
'Cause I
Phantasma.
think the shock factor too plays a role in this.
Yeah, because you've already been exposed to it though at that
Yeah,
point. And I think that, when you, because right now, I mean, for me, there's a lot of shock value in it because when it was put up last year for Goodreads Choice Awards as a romantasy, and then I was like, you know what? I'm finally going to read Phantasma and just get it out. I'm just going to get it out of the way. Um, and then reading it, it was like, hold up now, this ain't no
I
romantasy
mean,
or fantasy romance
romance,
that I've ever read in my life.
right? I was like, "There's romance in this," and, like,
But this bitch don't feel like
I'm
no.
following, but this shit is fucked up, bro.
But the world is so, that's what I will say is Kaylee did a good job with building Phantasma itself.
Mhm.
Like the attention to detail and
I really
just
like the
creating
devils.
this atmosphere.
Yeah, I also really like the devils. Like, how she created them.
The personalities are insane.
It's really like, I realized I was like, "Oh, she's literally, like, uh, inspired by, like, Dante's Inferno in this," and I was like,
Yes,
"I like
very
how
much so.
she incorporated that into this
Yes,
story
she
very
did.
much." It's
But
creepy, but it
let
works.
me tell you something. This is how weird I am and how 90s baby I'm coded. So I'm gonna say this so I don't spoil it. Ballroom dancing.
Yeah,
Why did I think of Labyrinth and David Bowie?
that's fair. That's fair. Like,
I read that scene and I was like,
if
David, is
I
that you?
if I could ever, like, meet the author, I would ask her, like, what inspired some of these rounds, like, some of the scenes you wrote, like, were you inspired by other sources of, like, fiction, or, like, did this all pop into your head? 'Cause I do, and I do respect that she does say at the end, like, all the experiences that the character has with OCD, she was like,
Mhm.
are delved from her own experiences or people
Yeah.
who share the same like severe OCD as well. It's like some of their experiences too. And so
Yeah.
I appreciate that she was honest with it. But everything else, I'm like, bitch, you were inspired by something.
Oh yeah, because I can't listen to that on audio. That's a no-go for me.
The voice
Oh
alone
no.
was creepy. I was like, ooh, this is giving me.
No, I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm good. I'm good. I'm reading it is enough. I don't think I need to add the auditory experience.
I was
I'm
like,
all right. I know my limits. My limits is like, yeah, and plus with me having I forget what it's called when I can't, it's very hard for me to visualize things.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't see things in clear detail. And so that's perfect for me because I don't need to,
That's fair.
but
No,
I feel like it's worse when I'm listening.
I'm very big into I can detail the shit out of stuff, and it's
Mm-mm,
probably a problem.
no. Mine is very blurry. Like I always tell people it's like when people have asked me whenever I experience reading something, which is why I probably like graphic novels and comics and manga so much, because the visual is there for me. And I tell people whenever I'm reading, it's like I'm watching things out of like my peripheral. So
Mhm.
it's not that I can't see it completely, but I can't see it direct, like I can't see it head on.
Yeah.
So everything is never really clear in my head when something is playing out, and I can't, which is also why I think I hit romantasy so hard,
Mhm.
because it uses that fantasy backdrop, but for someone like me, I can't imagine it, and so I need you to paint the picture for me. And because in a lot of instances, and not always, because there's been some romantasy books that I've read where I've loved the world building, which is why I think they lean more into fantasy romance and romantasy for me, because I need that fantastical element there
Mhm.
and I need the world building. That's why I think a lot of it doesn't work for me, because if it's so heavy in the romance that the world is not built, I feel like it's harder for me to connect with the story, because it's like I need you to paint that picture or I can't get it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I guess it's like pros and cons to each, right? Because
Yeah.
there's part of me, like when I'm reading stories, I wish I could see things the way people have described them in like full color, full detail, like you're literally watching scenes of a movie play by. And for me, it's almost like I'm straining to
Mhm.
see what's happening. And that can be kind of exhausting after a while, too. I'm used to it at this point, but it's like trying to see something without your glasses on.
Yeah. I think for me, like, sometimes the negative is, like, when they adapt these books, and then a
Yeah,
scene doesn't turn out the way that I had
yeah,
pictured it, and then I'm like it doesn't always bother me, but in certain instances it does, and I'm like, "You coulda made this
yeah.
better." You had the money.
That's the only thing that saves me though, Jess, and that's
Also that
probably
one.
why this manga is I'm struggling with it a little bit, is because I can see everything. If this was a book, I think that I wouldn't my reaction probably wouldn't be as strong. Like, even though Phantasma is kind of, but Phantasma is just let me not even compare it because that's a whole
It's its
different
own
situation.
a whole different element.
That's a whole different element. But I think because I can see the pictures for this manga, I like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And so I don't think I would want, like, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I would like that, but in situations like this too, I'm like, maybe it's good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why I don't really watch horror movies, and so that's
Yeah,
why I do find it a harder to read horror books is because, like, whatever I'm reading, I can usually envision, and sometimes I don't want to.
want to
I'm like,
envision
I
that.
just don't really need that in my head.
Yeah, fair, fair.
So that's why there are certain things I just won't read because 'cause I'm like, I can envision everything that I'm reading, and I don't want to.
Mm, 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 mm.
So, sorry, I feel like I derailed the sprints.
No, 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 no. You didn't. You're good. We're gonna reset and we're gonna do our final hour. Let me share this timer again. Okay, there we go. All right, y'all. Final sprints. Happy readings. See you in an hour.
Okay. Hopefully Ashley didn't fall asleep. We'll see if she comes back. Perfect.
Yeah. I don't echo like that.
I need to read the synopsis for this book.
Okay, so how did everyone do? How long did I sleep?
So you did fall asleep. #21 of you know. So I actually ended up helping my mom. So I didn't get much reading done. And then I did start Direbound, but I only started like 5 minutes of it. Because then for some reason when I tried to play the audio on Libro, it wasn't working. I had to like re-download it.
Okay. No more Hikaru. Before bedtime. That's a no. We're not doing that anymore. You were doing something else, so you didn't see me.
Mm-hmm.
But like I read a panel and my mouth literally just fell open.
It was so funny.
Yeah. So I started reading Hira Yasumi Volume 2, which is very slice of life and cute.
Better for the
Much better. Much more like up my alley. Like I was like, oh, this is the vibe that I was missing. Yep. That was about all I got to. I only have a little bit of that left, but I'm probably not going to finish that tonight. Oh, let me close this. There we go. I'm not going to finish that tonight.
That's fair.
I am legit exhausted.
That's a vibe.
No, really. How long were y'all talking before I just popped back in?
It wasn't that long. It was like a minute.
Damn, really? That was it?
Yeah. It really
I heard your voice.
I literally just said, let's see, I don't know if Ashley fell asleep or not. And then you popped back up.
And I popped back up. It literally was a hot second. Like, that's, wow.
Mm-hmm. It really wasn't that long.
Because when I finished The Summer Hikaru Died, Volume 4, I was like, oh, well, I can just move upstairs now. So I wasn't like tidying up and throwing some stuff away, came upstairs and boom.
Yeah, that's what happened to me before the sprints. I was like, I laid down after like eating I think I ate something, and then I talked to my mom and I came upstairs and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna like chill out until Ashley sprints. And then next thing I knew, I woke up and it was 8:30, and I was like, damn, I didn't mean to fall asleep. Today was exhausting. So like, I'm not surprised overall. And I feel like this week has been unnaturally long.
Oh yeah, I could have played this one off, but I didn't know how much time had passed. And I honestly, I was reading, like literally was in the middle of reading a panel, and I don't know when I would have nodded off.
That's fair. I literally like texted you, so like right when I texted you was right when it ended. So you really didn't
miss anything. That's freaking hilarious. You did. Sprint is done, and I literally popped up. I just heard you say, we'll see. I don't know if I even heard you really. I heard your voice, and I was like, oh. Then I looked at the clock, and I was like, I wonder how much time passed.
I was like, oh man, maybe she fell asleep. And then I was like, not me taking over Ashley's sprints at the end.
Right? He would have been right here. That's hilarious.
I was like, what a moment.
What a moment. What a moment. I'm surprised that I popped up like that, though. That's funny. All right, y'all. Well, that's it for our sprints for this evening. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be, well, no, I probably will host some again before the month is over with. But I think that Izzy may host some on her channel on Sunday, maybe. But there will be more sprints. If I do sprints, of course, it'll always be during the weekend. It won't be anytime during the week. So when I do sprints again, it'll be sometime in the coming couple of weeks. But thank you for joining us and for reading. And it was nice to do sprints again. But good luck continuing with 30 and 30. Keep up the hard work. And we will see y'all soon. Bye.